Okay, ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to Link Up Radio. Never a dull moment. And that's the reason why I love Link Up Radio so much. I love everyone that works for this organization. All right? All right, once again, folks, this is your Immigration Link. And of course, Sandra Smith is my attorney, your attorney, and she's been great. Even when we do open these phone lines, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? The lines are going to get flooded. So if you have an immigration question, U.S. immigration question, it pays to actually start calling if you know the number right now. Because remember, she's ready to answer questions on green cards. She's ready to answer questions on deportation. Help me out here, Miss Attorney, Miss Sandra Smith. What other questions are you ready before I give out the number? Ready to answer?
Motions to reopen. That's a big one. A lot of folks are calling the office as of late, talking about motions to reopen. For example, cases, folks who are deported and they want to move forward in opening their cases while they're overseas after having been deported. That's a big one. Citizenship applications. We do a lot of those as well. For folks who've come here who've considered whether or not they become citizens to their parents before they reach the age of 18. A lot of analysis there. We do a lot of those as well. Of course, family-based petitions where your husband files for a spouse, wife files for a spouse, mother files for a child. We handle all of those. Everything immigration we handle here in the office.
Absolutely. So let's open up the phone lines right here for the Immigration Link. Comments.
You know what? My comments, I just like to put a quote out there. What he said, I think it was in 2002. What counts in life is not the mere fact that we have lived. It's what difference we have made to the lives of others that will determine the significance of the life we lead.
There you go.
That's what I want to put out there. And, a lot of times we're on the air, David, and you say this a lot, it's what we do for folks. It's not the life that we're living. It's what we do for folks and the difference we make in their lives. You say this a lot. So in the words of Nelson Mandela, I just want to put that out there.
Absolutely true. And to tag on that, the one that I always say is that we all have life, right? Mm-hmm. But how many of us have really lived? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Another one to think about. Mm-hmm. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, right now, let's get to the phone calls right now. But more importantly, folks, we may not get to many people on the line, but everyone has the opportunity of speaking with Sandra Smith. We do ensure that. And you may call her occasionally and get a voicemail or get someone else, but she promises to call you all back. It is our vision and mission to make sure that she speaks with every one of you and help you if possible. Call her at her office at 877-829-5297. That is 877-829-5297. 877-829-5297 is the office number for Sandra Smith and Associates. As we reflect on Nelson Mandela and as we think about Jesus Christ this time of the year, let's get to our first call with the attorney, Sandra Smith. Hello, caller. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am wonderful, man. Morning, Nelson Mandela. What is your question for Sandra Smith?
If your green card expires for more than 2 years, can you do your citizen or you got to do over your green card?
It depends. Was this a conditional green card that you had, or how long did you have your green card for, sir?
More than 10 years.
More than 10 years. Okay. Let me ask you a quick question about your criminal history or record. Have you had any arrests or convictions in the past?
No arrest.
No. All right. So that being said, you should be able to move forward and get in your citizenship. You do not necessarily have to renew your green card. Yes, you can move forward and obtain your citizenship. All right?
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, first one down. Okay, once again, folks, the number for Sandra Smith's office is 877-829-5297. Call before 1 o'clock, and I guarantee and promise you by way of her telling me, of course, prior, that you will get 50% off the consultation fee. And yes, 50% off the retainer fee. It is that season to give back, and Sandra Smith of the Immigration Link on Link Up Radio is giving back to every single one of you. Regardless of where you are, you need to speak with this wonderful attorney helping so many people. 1 year plus on Link Up Radio, and I am proud of her. 877-829-5297. Once again, 877-829-5297. On air, call now to get your questions answered for free, and that's 877-320-5465. 877-320-5465. Call the radio station to get your questions on immigration answered for free. 877-320-5465. Let's go to another call right now. Hello, caller, and welcome to the Immigration Link. How are you?
Hello, how are you?
I am so wonderful today. Just mourning a little bit or a lot in reference to Nelson Mandela.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
I want to know, do she help people like with deportations that came off the cruise line?
Okay, go ahead.
Good afternoon, ma'am. You said it was deportation. Persons who came off the cruise line. Could you be more specific? Are
Like,
you? Uh-huh.
they had the Caribbean cruise line ship, and you know how it docks in Florida. Do you help them with that kind of case?
Well, it depends
They
on what
have-
you're talking about. Are you saying that there is someone who probably came to the United States on a cruise and did not get back on the ship and actually stayed in the States? Is that what you're talking about? The person is now currently in deportation?
Right.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. I mean, depending on the form of release that are available, we may be able to help. And this is the reason why we have consultations. In that way, we can get to the facts and then we can determine how we can help the person moving forward in obtaining some form of immigration relief. All right?
Oh, okay.
So what you should do is you should
Okay.
call up our offices and make an appointment so we can have that consultation.
Okay, so the number is 877-829-5297.
Yeah, let me give it to you. It's 877
Mm-hmm.
829
Right.
5297.
Correct.
And how much is the consultation fee?
Well, I tell you what, hold the line, and I'm guaranteeing you that you're getting 50% off, all right? And even off the retainer, all right?
Okay.
Hold on, my darling. Once again, folks, we're in tune to what's called the Immigration Link, powered by, of course, Sandra Smith and Associates. The law office is located in the financial district, just a few blocks from the Link Up Media Company in New York. Of course, we have Link Up Media in Jamaica, and Sandra Smith shares our office in Jamaica with us. And when she's going to be there, she'll let you all know in the Kingston area or respectively the Montego Bay area, because she will help you with your legal issues in Jamaica also. But once again, folks, in New York, it's 40 Wall Street, 28th floor, Trump Building. Make sure you reach out to her. On air, absolutely free. You can get your questions answered. I've got a couple of lines open right now. I'm going to squeeze in a few more calls. I do have some questions for Sandra Smith, but let me open up the phone lines. 877-320-5465. That is 877-320-5465. 877-320-5465. Many people have questions based on deportation that took place, and you mentioned that earlier, Sandra Smith, because a lot of folks thinks that after deportation life is over as far as traveling to the United States. Not necessarily true. Not necessarily true. I have seen situations where Sandra has helped people who have been deported. Some people have had wrongful deportation. Some people were already citizens and they got deported, but they did not know that they were citizens. There are also people out there who have been filing their paperwork after being married, but the marriage did not work out for them. So guess what? They think that it's all over and that's it. No, not necessarily true. These are situations that one might want to have an attorney handle. Now, you can back me up with this, Sandra, and I'm bringing these points up because it's so critical that people even understand that some of the cases, if not most, if they screw up on them, they may be put into what we spoke about earlier, deportation. So,
Yes.
before we get to this next call, you want to expand on that quickly?
Well, here's the thing. You said so many things. You've opened it up for me to say so many other things. But in particular, what I also want to mention here this afternoon regards persons who've already been deported and who would still like to fight their case because there may be options for them. So, of course, there is something called a motion to reopen. At one point in time, there were contradictory rulings from different U.S. courts of appeals. But recently, they've kind of come together and they're now deciding that this post-departure bar, persons are now going to be able to file a motion to reopen from overseas. So, and then, of course, there are different grounds upon which a person may be able to file a motion to reopen. For example, there may be abuse of discretion on the part of the immigration judge. That might be one thing. Also, they may have been changed circumstances since they had been adjudicated. The application for relief was adjudicated. They may be changed circumstances. That's another thing to consider. Another thing could be ineffective assistance of counsel. The attorney who they had at the time when they were fighting their deportation was not doing what they were supposed to be doing at the time, and then they were subsequently deported. They could actually file a motion to reopen based on those grounds as well.
Absolutely.
So there are lots of things out there for folks if you're seeking immigration relief and you've already been deported.
877-829-5297 happens to be one of the most powerful numbers you will ever have when it comes to immigration. It is the number for Sandra Smith and Associates. Once again, 877-829-5297. You can now enjoy the luxury of the fact that she has, of course, legal capacity in Jamaica as an attorney. in Trinidad as an attorney, and definitely in the United States, as you may have already know, be aware of. The number to call right now is 877-829-5297. Let's take one more call, Sandra Smith, and then I'll let you take the other calls off air and also in your office. Hello.
Go ahead.
Hello, caller. How are you?
Hello?
Yes, sir. Welcome to the Immigration Link.
Yes. I was in Jamaica 5 months ago, and I lost my green card. You hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir. I heard you.
And they sent me at Westchester Avenue, 1827 Westchester Avenue, to do some paperwork. They said I will get it back by the mail, and it's going 5 months now. I don't hear anything.
Okay, so are you back in the States now?
Yes, they give me 2 letters, send me up.
Okay, so you had a letter to be able to return to the States. All right. So what you should do, sir, have you actually called up immigration to find out what's happening with your green card?
They said I would get it in the mail.
All right. So what you should do now, since it's been 5 months, is you should make that call. Make that call to immigration to find out what exactly is happening with your case. There's a 1-800 number that you can call, and they will then tell you what's the status of your case.
Have you called them?
Give me that number, please.
All right.
Certainly.
Go ahead.
Yes, David, I'm going to have to give the number off the air because
All
I
right,
don't
not a
have
problem.
it on.
We're gonna let you speak with Sandra off here. But let me ask you something, sir. How long have you had your green card?
My green card must be I'm 40 years now.
David, good question.
Okay,
David, good question.
so here's what I'm saying, my brother. Rather than even worrying about the replacing your green card, you should just go and get your citizenship. All right? It's extremely important that you do that. All right?
Yeah.
It make life a lot easier for you and everyone within your family. It just makes life much easier.
Okay.
You're right.
Okay, if
And-
you have
and-
had your green card for almost 40 years, you need to get yourself your citizenship. Get the blue book.
Unless, of course, David, there is a reason why. I mean, and that's the thing. For folks who don't have any issues in obtaining their citizenship, if you've had your green card for over 5 years, then you should actually move forward and getting your citizenship. As David is saying, it's very important.
And you're not
Very
giving...
Not
important.
5 years. Not 5 years.
No, I
40
understand.
years.
I'm
No, we
saying
heard you.
5 years,
40
much
years.
more.
Man,
40 years.
Listen, 40 years, you're probably at 40 years. Have you ever had any run-in with the law?
I don't understand you.
Have you ever been arrested?
Have you ever been arrested? You ever get locked up? You ever get locked up?
Yeah, man. Me get locked up with fight, man.
All right.
Okay.
For fight. Hold on, Sandra. Only for fighting. No drugs. What else? Anything else?
No, man. Me not jokes business, man.
All right, boss. How long ago was the fight?
About 20 years ago.
20 years
20.
ago.
Man, you have good moral
Yes.
character, man.
Yes,
I link
and-
up this, man. Bop.
Yes,
You're good
yes.
to go, man. Hey, hold on the line, man. Hold on. Because this is Link Up. This is the Immigration Link. This is Sandra Smith. Well, she's there. I am here. Of course, this is Squeeze. Hold on. I'm going to make sure so she sort you out. All right? Hold on, boss. I'll make sure you get a 50% discount. Hold on a minute there.
Very
All
good,
right.
David. Very good. Yeah, I mean, it's this is not so many instances where folks come into my office wanting to renew their green card. Their green card is lost. It's the same question you asked. How long have you had your green card? 40 years, 30 years, 20 years. And you're wondering, why don't they apply for citizenship? And it's just a matter of, putting that application in, getting an attorney to assist you.
And so many things happen.
So many things could happen. Yes,
you know.
yes.
The number to call right now if you'd like to speak with Sandra Smith with any U.S. immigration question you may have is 877-829-5297. That is 877-829-5297. 877-829-5297. Once again, it is 877-829-5297. 877-829-5297. Call if you've got any immigration questions, but please, don't wait 40 years to get your citizenship. Sandra Smith, your phone line's blowing up. Thank you so much for being here today. Looking forward to speaking with you again very soon.
Thank you, David, and have a good weekend.
I love it when she calls me David. She doesn't say Squeeze like David. Makes me feel so special, Anyway, folks, we got to remind you that this has been an attorney advertisement, and prior results do not guarantee future outcome. But if I were you, hey, I would definitely go with Sandra Smith. All right? Make a call. Once again, 877-829-5297. 877-829-5297. Not just proficient, but also cost effective. Sandra Smith and Associates.